Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool Pinbot repair video for you today. If you didn't see our other two, go check them out. That's not on fire, is it? That was just lights, right? I see you. If you didn't see our other couple videos that we filmed on this so far, go check those out. We worked on the power supply and the displays in one of the videos, and we worked on the PCB, the main board, in the other video. This thing is up and running, but we're trying to get it more reliable, more long-term, a little nicer, if you will. I mean, you know, it needs some cosmetic stuff. Look, the legs are kind of rough. And we're on to the next video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work in the back box a little more. So we've been messing with the power supply, the displays, the soundboard works fine. We've been messing with the main PCB, but there are a couple other things that I want to mess with just so we can say we're done with the back box. One is I want to make sure that the lamp bar, the light bar up top works. I haven't seen... So cool. I haven't seen a peep out of that lamp bar yet. He's watching us. I haven't seen that lamp bar do anything yet, and I think it probably should have by now. So something's going on with it. Might just be all the bulbs are burnt out. And then also there is a issue on all of these system. I think it's system 3 through 11, something like that. I thought it was system 9 through 11, but we just worked on some system 8s a couple weeks ago, these pennant fevers. And it had the same issue. It's definitely an issue on system 9, and it's definitely an issue on this one because I've already seen it in there. And I'm going to show you what it is. If you get a system 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 Williams pinball machine, you have got to do this, and I'm about to prove to you that not only is it something that's a good idea, it's a necessity. So I'm going to show you why it's a necessity. Let me take this back glass off, and you can see what I'm talking about. So here is the back box. Yours may be set up a little bit different depending on which game you're working on. This is System 11 Pinbot. But if it's anything even similar, you may have this same problem. I've done, I think, 3 videos on this now. But since we're doing this game and we're working all the way through it, we got to do it on this one too because it's an issue, okay? So the way this thing is set up, there are 2 bridge rectifiers over here in the back box. And they're just mounted to the wall, and one of them does the lights and one of them does the solenoids, I believe. We'll look it all up in the schematics here in a minute. But there's a problem where there is not a fuse on either one of these. And if something happens with these and the bridge shorts out, what happens is it melts the wire. See how there's tape on this one? Look close. It has melted. See all that? These wires have melted. So what happens is one of them gets really hot and it melts the insulation off, and then it melts the insulation off the one next to it, and then you just get a bunch of these getting really hot, which is a fire, people. So let me show you the schematics why it does that. It already did it on this one, and then we'll look at it a little more, but let me show you the schematics and show you what actually happened here. This is the Pinbot manual, page 63. Power wiring diagram. All right, so we're going to follow this. I'm going to show you what the problem is. We've done this on a bunch of other ones, but on this one, since you can actually see the wires melted, this is a really good one to point this out on. Now you'll notice too that whenever I work on these, I don't tell you to do a bunch of mods because I'm not all that into all the mods. So a lot of people will say, oh well, you can change out the resistors and the SCRs or the transistors on the lamp section, and it makes it run cooler, and you can put in LEDs and it makes everything run cooler, and you can change these out for this and it makes it work better and you can upgrade the coil and all that. I don't really do a lot of that stuff. But I'm telling you, this one you have to do. It will literally catch on fire. You have to do it. So that's my whole point is that's coming from me. I'm not a mod guy. I don't do a lot of mods, but this one you have to do. You're going to regret it if you don't. It probably won't burn your house down, but it'll probably burn up all your wiring and cause all kinds of problems in the back box. So, what the hell is that? Okay, so the power comes in here. There's a black line and a white line, right? And there's also a ground. And then it goes to an outlet, a utility outlet, that if you notice, isn't even fused. So the outlet is always on, even if the fuse is blown or the switch is turned off. So why is that there? That's so you can plug in like a soldering iron or something, or maybe an old school multimeter before they were portable, or whatever. It's so you have power in the cabinet that you can plug something in while everything else is turned off and you're working on it. Okay, so then the power goes through a line filter. This is a varistor, whatever. And then you have a switch here. It's a 2-pole switch. It turns off both sides of the AC. Okay, and then it comes into this block. This is a jumper block where you can change this connection in these jumpers to make it work for different voltages. Jumper for 115 VAC, C chart for other line voltages. So you can change that. Use the same exact transformer, but it'll make it run off different wall voltages. Okay, and so then we get over to this part, and then all of these lines, different voltages that work through the jumpers and stuff, run over to the transformer. Okay, so since we're on 110, the hot is coming in here, and then also here. So this line is hot, and this line is hot. And then if you look, this center tap here isn't hooked to anything. This center tap here isn't hooked to anything. And then the white, the neutral, as we call it, goes to this side of the transformer, loops around, and also goes to this side of the transformer. So there's 2 windings here that if you've got it on 120, you hook it up to get the transformer to work. So then the transformer, AC power, creates all these different AC voltages. So look what happens. So it creates... Unknown caller. Oh! Phone about scared me to death. Anyway. One of the things the transformer does is it creates this voltage, which runs over here to the board, and then look what happens. As soon as it gets to the power board, this is the rectifier board, I guess. There's a fuse. Does it say? Power supply. There is a fuse that it runs through. And then that's used to create the positive 100 and negative 100, so that's for the displays. And then there is a second voltage here that's center tapped. And look, it's got a fuse on both sides. And that's to make the 5-volt and 12-volt unregulated power supply, right? And then we'll skip these 2 bridge rectifier ones. And then there's this voltage down here, 48 volts for the solenoids, that runs over here to this flipper power supply. And look, as soon as it comes in, it runs through a fuse. And then there's a bridge rectifier there. So if this bridge rectifier shorts, it blows this fuse. Okay? If this shorts, it blows this fuse. If this shorts, it blows one of these 2 fuses. But your problem is the transformer is directly connected to this bridge rectifier, and it's directly connected to this bridge rectifier, which create the solenoid voltage and the lamp voltage. So they put fuses over here in case a lamp socket shorts out, or a solenoid shorts out, or or whatever, right? So it blows this fuse, or this fuse, or this fuse. But your problem is, if this blows, it shorts this red wire, this AC, to one of the other ones, and you'll get all kinds of amps running through here, and it'll start melting the wire because there's no fuse to blow. All these other ones are just wires until they get to some kind of component, and they're fused, but these 2 are not. So that's why those wires are all melted up. It's kind of common. You saw the white and red look pretty screwed up. And then you saw these blue ones look pretty screwed up. So I don't know, maybe both of them melted at different times or something. But the way you fix it is really easy. You just take one of these lines. So on this one, you can grab one of these white and red lines, or one of these red lines after it goes through this connector, either way. And on this one, you grab one of these blue and white lines, or one of these blue lines. You just need to fuse one side before it gets to the bridge. So either one of these lines, or either one of these lines on this bridge. So one of these and one of these. And you put a fuse in. You want an 8 amp slow blow fuse. So we're going to go do that. That's our next thing. We'll get that knocked out, and then we're going to look at the light bar at the top so that we can kind of be finished until we run into problems. Quasi-finished with the back box. So let's go back and look at the wiring again and see if we need to fix any of it up. So it appears, I've removed a couple of wing twist nuts, but it appears that the blue wires burnt up on this bottom bridge rectifier, and then it was replaced. And then they cut off some of the burnt up wire and put new wires that they zip tied to the loom. Now originally they went through this connector, and you can see that they cut the old ones out, and the new ones are just zip tied in. So I'm going to try to clean this up, and I think I'm going to try to put the new wires back in this connector, and then run one of them over to here through a fuse, and then back over to here. So this is all real confusing, like, oh god, everything's burned up and everything. It's not really all that bad. It's just a couple wires got hot and melted some of the other plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one wire at a time. So we're going to get our first blue wire back through here, and then a blue wire from here to a fuse, and then a wire from the other side of the fuse to where that blue wire is plugged in, and clean all this up and get it nicer. I can't leave crap like this in there. I mean, that's just asking for trouble. So let me work on one wire, and then once we get it ready, we'll work on the other blue one, and then we'll move up and work on the red ones. Okay, we've been working. I couldn't get the old pins out of this one because it melted the housing a little bit. So I just left them, and I installed another disconnect. Now this disconnect, you only even need these if you're taking the entire head off of the game, which nobody does. These have hinges on them, so they lay down. So it's not really even needed, but the wires weren't long enough, so I wanted to extend them, and a good way to do that is with a connector. You know, I could have used heat shrink tubing or something, but this worked good. So we've got the blue wires running in. One of them, and you got to use the same gauge wire or bigger, one of them runs over to the lug, right? The other one runs to this fuse holder, and on the other side I have a wire with a spade on it. And then we went to the other one. Both of those wires looked fine. So one of the reds I cut, ran it to the fuse holder, and then I just left it hooked up on the other end where it already was. So we just split that one red line, put a fuse in the middle. And then the blue line, we did the same, but I also replaced the screwed up connectors that were burnt before. These purple ones, this one and this one, they have tape on them. So I checked that out, and all it is that area, I guess it was connected, it was touching the wire that melted, so it just nicked the insulation a little bit, and they're just trying to cover that up. So there's nothing wrong with the wires, it's just it needed insulation, so they put some electrical tape on it. So that should get us going. I'm going to mount these carefully right here and put my two fuses in them, and then that will get rid of our problem. So I'll do that and show you what it ended up looking like, and then we'll work on this topper a little bit. Look how good they look over there. So I turned it back on, and the solenoids are still working, and the lights seem to still be working. Hear that? That's his mask opening. That takes a solenoid to do that, people. Okay? Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to look on the schematic and see what voltage goes up to the flashers, make sure it's there, and then we'll, I think it's just going to be they're all burnt out. That's what I think. Because it's kind of a pain to take that thing off. So I'll bet nobody's done it in about 10, 15 years. But let's see on the schematics how it works. So here's the schematics of the power. I can't find one that specifically shows everything for the actual lights up top, but there's solenoids that make the flash lamps work. So there are 2 resistors involved on all the flash lamps, and so they have ground connected to one side of a 330 ohm resistor, and then they have the solenoid drive, which I guess is the ground. Which I guess is the ground for the solenoid on the other side of a 5 ohm resistor, and then in the middle there are 2 lamps. I think it's usually 2 flash lamps tied in together, and then it goes up here to this solenoid B plus voltage, which is always red, it looks like, or something like that. So we're just going to take the top off and see what the hell it looks like is happening. I kind of wanted to see, though, what they were claiming they were, like what kind they were. It may actually say it on another page. Yeah. Here we go. Solenoids and flashers. Okay. So it says out-hole kicker, knocker, ball shooter lane, upper playfield, and top back box flasher. Single eject hole, insert board left. So the insert board is actually the board in the back box with the displays on it. So this one that says top back box, that's probably the light bar that we're talking about. Number 89 flash lamps. Okay. Insert board left, insert board right. I believe that's his eyes, maybe. 89 flash lamps, lower playfield, and top back box number 1. And then it says outer. Number 1 dash outer. Oh, maybe it's saying the number 1 light. No, I don't know. Ramp down, energy flashers, left eye eject hole, left playfield flasher, right eye eject hole, sun flashers. Oh yeah, I think that's in the middle of the board. Robot face. See how they're different? This is why we're looking at this. Right visor, general illumination, different type. General illumination relay, general illumination relay. Visor motor relay, solenoid select relay. Top back box flashers, number 3. Top back box flashers, number 4, and center. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Lower jet bumper, left visor, general illumination, left jet bumper, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so all the ones that it says are top back box are number 89. So let me get some of them, and I'll see if I can take that top cover off. And we need to look at those resistors, too. So I've taken the top off. Let me show you what it looks like up there. It has this kind of reflective piece of, I don't know. What do you want to call that? I'm sure Dad said something at some point. All right. And so there are 8 lamp sockets. I took out the old bulbs and put in new ones. The old ones, to me, didn't look burnt up, though. So I don't know. They looked all right. I guess I could test them with a meter or something. So what I've done is I have went into test, and I'm on the solenoid test. And so right now I have the right flasher on. See that one? And you can step through. Okay, you can step through each solenoid. So this says lower flasher and top flasher 1. Okay, so I'm gonna number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll see if we get any of them to not work. But that one's working, so that's good. energy flash left. I better write that down. That's going to be one of the ones on the playfield, and it's not working. Ugh. When you're left-handed, you have this problem where if you start on the left side to write on something with one hand. So look, I'll try writing this just so you can see what's going on. See how the paper moves? If you're right-handed, right, you would be, if this is upside down, you could, you're holding the paper down with your hand. Maybe I should learn to write backwards. Okay, energy flash left. Not working. Left eject. Sounds like it's working. Left flash L. It's the left flash L, people. Looks like she's working. When we clean the playfield, we'll replace all those flash bulbs too. Right eject. The sun flash left. We got too many things on our pinball. Matter of fact, let me close the back box. Don't really need that open right now. If it'll cooperate. Sun flash left. Looks like that's working. Whoa! Right visor, general illumination. GI, flasher. Back glass GI. So that's a relay. Playfield GI. That's a relay. So they just put a relay on all of the light lines so that they can flash them like that. Visor motor. This says AC select. Excuse me. I think that has to do with they can wire two things up to one line and then that selects back and forth. I can hear something clicking. Okay, top flasher 3 it says. So 3 and what I'm calling 6 are working. 3 and 6. So 1 worked, 3 worked, 6 worked. Top flash 4, center. So we'll say 4 and 5. Bottom jet. The left visor GI. Left jet. Left kicker. It's kicking. Right kicker. It's kicking. I've decided we're definitely replacing the rubber rings. Top jet. The out hole. The Naka. The Naka ain't working. That's because of the I think it's disconnected. Oh, sure. Boop, 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 boop. The ball release. It's working. It says A sign. Upper flasher. Top flasher 2. C side. Wow, see, look, so they've got 4 flashers on that one line, and the other one seemed like it only had 1 flasher on it. All right, so that's number 2 and number 7. Got to figure out what number 8 is. But everything's working. but number 8 so far. Single eject. Oh, I think there's an eject coil back there in the back. Back glass, left flash, and it's working. Drop target, it's working. Back glass, right flasher, that's where we were, okay. It's the ramp. Lower flasher and top flasher 1, okay. I don't know what this last one is here. So the only one that didn't light up was this number 8. Oh. Fix that crap. All right, all our flashers are working. So I'm going to clean it up and put the top back on it. And then we'll see what we got. Hopefully that got us going. I don't know, though. In a tract, I haven't seen it flash or anything. We'll see if it does. And by the way, here are the resistors that it was showing on the schematics. They're on that little board, so all of those wires run to that first. And then there are some over here as well that run the flashers on the insert. There's probably some under the playfield too. So if you get problems, sometimes it's those inserts those resistors have broken loose or something. The knocker not working is because they have the wire cut to it. All right, folks. So we got that together. And maybe it just doesn't do it in the tract. I don't know. We'll watch it for a second. But I wonder if there's a setting. Maybe there's a setting in the manual to turn the light bar on or off. But I think we've got it. We've also got the 2 fuses in that we needed. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. I guess I might have to start a game. Oh, God. Oh, now it wants a credit on it. Oh, that's how you do it. It works. Put a quarter in. Here, let's do it again. Yeah. What a cool machine. All right, so leave your comments below. We're getting there, but obviously we're not there yet. We need to work on under the playfield next. Cleaning out the cabinet, all that good stuff. So we'll get to that on the next video. Leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. Thank you to everybody that's been using our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, we have links down below to Amazon for your specific country, maybe, or one near you. And if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, if you click our link first, it gives us a little piece of it. Thank you for doing that, everybody that's been doing it. And then make sure to check out my brother Donnie. If you don't know what that is my brother's channel. My brother Donnie. He's a very interesting person. It has nothing to do with arcade games or pinball machines. But hey, life is not all arcade games and pinball machines. There are many other things that make life wonderful, and Donnie dibbles and dabbles with all of that. So go check it out. He's always into something. So leave your comments, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.